Hi, this is Leaerins and this is my third speech. The story of the developing baby is an amazing one. From fertilized egg to mature human being, the baby will develop so that way it can survive in the outside world. During the first trimester, the baby will develop most of its body parts, inner and outer, and the second and third trimesters, they will be maturing their inner organs so that way they will be able to survive in the outside world. During the first month, they're considered to be a tadpole-like embryo and will do most of its initial forming of the major organs during this time. In the second week, the embryo will bury itself into the wall of the uterus and will start to attach itself through a cord called the umbilical cord. From that, the baby will be able to get all of its nourishments. By the end of the first month, the baby will measure between 1/70th and 1/25th of an inch long. And this is a picture of what the first month of what the baby will look like. At the beginning of the second month, the baby will measure about 1/20th of an inch from crown to rump, and the baby will continue to grow during this month until it measures just over about an inch long. Also, during this month, the baby's first features such as eyes, nose, ears, fingers will start to show, and by the end of the month, the baby will have a complete heartbeat all to itself and will not, or it would not be able to live in the outside human world, but it would have some chance of about a 1 to 2 day survival. By week 9, the baby will measure from around 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and during this time the baby will weigh around 1/3 of an ounce. And this is a picture of the baby during the second month. The blood will start to circulate through his body more and more and go quicker, so the heartbeat will increase. He'll begin to be able to suck and swallow the amniotic fluid that helps to keep him safe and not run into the walls of the uterus and everything. His arms and legs will start to be more distinctive parts of the body. You'll be able to see like the elbow joints and the knees, and it will start to move. By the end of the month, the baby will be about 2.5 to 3 inches long. The brain configuration will be roughly complete, and the sex organs will be more specific, although you won't really be able to tell if it's a boy or a girl at this particular time. This is a picture of the 3-month baby, and this is the 4th month, what we'll be getting ready to talk about. During the 4th month, the baby will measure about 2 2/3 of an inch to 3 inches long from crown to rump and weigh between 1/2 and 2/3 of an ounce. The baby will begin to grow hair on his scalp, and it will become more active. The heart muscle will be well developed during this month, and vaginal and anus openings will be more 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 visible. By the end of the 4th month, the fetus will be around 4 inches and will be completely nourished by the placenta, and the baby's tooth buds will begin to show. This is a picture of the baby in the 5th month, and as you can tell, he looks a lot more like a fetus now. The baby will measure around 4.5 to 5 inches long from crown to rump and weigh almost 3½ ounces. By the end of the month, the baby will measure from 7¼ inches to 8 inches long and weigh around 10½ ounces. During the 5th month, however, the baby's hair will grow all over the body to keep it warm while it's in your womb. The baby's skin will be covered with a vernix, and it'll have a reddish look to it. The baby will begin to get fat, and the skin will be wrinkled. It'll look a lot more like a little old man, and have a lot of wrinkles, but it'll also have a lot of hair everywhere. The baby will have small breathing movements, and this is what the baby will look like at 6 months, and it will begin to suck its thumb, as you can see in the picture. The eyelids will begin to part, and the eyes will now be able to open. They can survive now if they are born but they will need to be in intensive care. While the baby continues to grow, it will become more vigorous, and the baby will develop its own sleeping patterns inside the mother, and you'll be able to determine this by if the baby feels to be still or if you can feel him kicking. During the 7th month, this is the beginning of the 3rd trimester, and the mother will start to get false labor because the baby's head will have started to turn down towards the cervix. This is a picture of the baby during the 7th month, and it'll be curled more into a closer fetal position, and it won't be able to move as much due to how big it's getting. In fact, it will be around 2½ pounds by now. The baby will start to get hiccups and possibly even cry, and it will be able to taste the difference between sweet and sour. If you hold a flashlight up against your stomach, the baby will be able to see a little bit of the light, as if like you were putting a flashlight up to your finger and it shows red on the other side. The baby will be able to see something sort of like that. At the beginning of the 8th month, this is the picture. At the beginning of the 8th month, the baby will measure around 10½ inches to 11 inches long, from crown to rump.